So we're all lucky enough, aren't we, in this country to take it for granted. But in a Devon village, real problems with their supply just goes off without warning. In fact, Ashcombe near Dawlish, the residents there say they've had their water cut off at least 20 times in the last 3 years. Locals getting increasingly fed up now. Rafe Rayner is a landowner of the Ashcombe estate. Paul Raby, a GP who lives in the village. They've been telling our reporter Sophie Pearce the problem started after Southwest Reservoir has closed a reservoir which used to feed the village.
We're now reliant upon a pump to pump water up the valley from Dawlish, and any problem that happens to the electricity supply will switch the pump off, and the whole village is instantly without water. Sometimes they're able to just visit and switch the relay back on the pump and it all works again. Sometimes, obviously, it can last for 48 hours in certain situations.
So, Rafe, you live here locally, but also you obviously run the business with holiday cottages and so on. How does it affect you?
Well, people don't really understand if they go on holiday. They don't expect to be going to an area where the water supply fails for a protracted period of time. And quite recently, we lost the water supply here for up to 48 hours in certain parts of the village. We had full holiday cottages at the time, and several of our guests left in a fury. They will write very negative reviews about our business, despite it being out of our control. We seek compensation from Southwest Water, and to be honest, we have no reply for a month. And then when we did have a reply, they told us that we should solve our own water supply problems if we're a business.
So what do you think about that?
Well, I was quite shocked, really. I mean, it's like asking us to lay on our own oxygen supply, perhaps. I mean, this is a utility company. We know why we have a problem here. We've had a problem here for 3 years because Southwest Water made changes to a reservoir that was based on a hill within the estate. Once they shut that down, we were then reliant on water being pumped up the hill from Dawlish, and we're the last people in the line. So any problem in that line, we don't have any water.
Obviously, you're a doctor and you look after people, and you were talking to me about how vital water is for everything.
It's one of the bedrocks of civilization. It makes the difference between a civilized, safe, comfortable life and basically living as though you're in a township, or indeed pre-Roman times, because I believe they brought us roads and water. And unfortunately, one of those, it appears, Southwest Water are quite happy for us to not have on a reliable basis.
And you've got, obviously, elderly and disabled people living in the village too.
We do. How on earth they cope with water absence, I have no idea. Unfortunately, when we get old, sometimes we have to be nursed in bed. We have problems with continence. The washing that has to be done, the cleaning. It's difficult enough with a full range of services, but if we lose water, that really makes it impossible. It's a catastrophe for those vulnerable people.
Have you complained to Southwest Water?
Yes, we have. We obviously make telephone contacts every time we lose power. We've been on social media letting them know when things happen. I've also written to the CAO of Southwest Water outlining my concerns both for the well people and the unwell people in Ashcombe when the water is lost, and I haven't had a reply.
Well, in a statement, Southwest Water apologises to customers, saying Ashcombe Service Reservoir was retired in 2015. Water is now pumped to the village. There's an unreliable power supply to the pumping station, and also water supplies to the area have recently been affected by some fire service activity. There was also major damage to our water main when the river burst its banks following the snow in March. This has been repaired, and we're urgently exploring a number of options to improve the supply and reinstating Ashcombe Reservoir. That from Southwest Water.
BBC Radio Devon. Travel news.